Today's mission, strap into a rock climbing harness, get hauled to the top of a 75-foot mast by a friend who defuses bombs for a living. What? Yeah, crazy. That's what's gonna happen. So a buddy of mine is a bomb tech, a police officer, pretty much a badass dude, certified by the FBI to defuse bombs. He's gonna come, run the winches, hook me up in a rock climbing harness, haul me to the top of this mast, 75 feet in the air, and hopefully I'm not gonna die. So here's how this works. Right now I'm standing at the helm. Vic is going to be here with this topping lift. This line runs to the top of the mast and back down. I'm going to untie it from the back of the boom. I'm going to tie it to my rock climbing harness. Vic is going to use this winch to haul me to the very top of the mast. Now, if he were to make a mistake, let go, not hold the line, I'm dead. I fall to my death. That's literally how important this is, and that's why I chose a guy that defuses bombs for a living. My odds are better. So this is the setup now that we're on deck. In this gray bag is the main sail, and this is the boom. And then back here, this is the topping lift I was showing you from the helm. So the way this is going to go down is I'm going to lift the boom and I'm going to rest it on this stool because that's going to support the weight of it. Once that's supported, I can untie the topping lift, tie it to my rock climbing harness, and then Vic will haul me all the way up that mast, and I'll do the maintenance work up there, and if all goes well, I'll be back on the deck and safe and sound in 10 minutes maybe. Wish me luck. And this is the view of where I'll be going. So I'll be strapped into that rock climbing harness, Vic will be hauling me, and I'll be going all the way up that mast, all the way to the top. That's 75 feet in the air, dangling from a little line, or rope, as non-sailors call it, and doing some work up there. So as I'm hanging in the air, I also have to be able to get out my knife and my tools and cut the halyard, get rid of the old chafe part, retie that back to the shackle at the top, and then tell Vic, lower me back down nice and slow. So that's how it's going to work. This is the line I'll be tying to myself. And I'll be going up right here from the deck and making my way to the top. Hey, man. Welcome aboard.
Thanks, good to be here.
What's going on?
How much? So I was supposed to, we've got this big bomb, not competition thing, but big training day coming up on Thursday. And the plan, I've got to build 3 devices for it. And the plan was we're going to build them Monday and Tuesday. Now they just had that bomb. So those guys are like, you know, they might have one person at the office. So I was on the phone with them like,
wow.
Are you guys going to be around still, or what's the plan?
All right, we have to repeat that story, at least the parts of it you don't mind telling publicly. That's pretty good. Like, wow, I'm so busy with making bombs that I barely got here today. All right, everybody. This is Vic. We've been friends for years. We've done some racing together. We've sailed the Newport Ensenada 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, probably, yeah, at least 5, I'd
Something
think.
like that, which is a really fun race. Vic's a great sailor, and you know, he's just one of those guys where you can tell mechanical things make sense to people. So if you're trying to pick someone who is going to keep you alive while they're hauling you up and down the mast, and you don't want to fall to your death, seemed like a pretty good choice.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Let's hope it goes well today.
Yeah. So don't kill me.
Okay.
All right. So, and actually I'm going to embarrass Vic right now, but he's the most humble guy in the world, but he's actually really is a bomb tech. He really does defuse bombs for a living. FBI certified, or however all that works.
It takes a village.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. But yeah, it's that's quite a career path, and he's got some great stories.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna get done today, Vic, is I need to be at the top of the mast. There's a chafe spot on the halyard about 6 feet down from the top. So you're going to need to haul me up about 6 feet below the mast. I actually have headsets, so we're going to have those on, and we'll be able to communicate without yelling. You're going to haul me up there. I'm going to say stop when I get there, and then it's going to take me a minute or two to cut that. Then I'll tell you, let's keep going, and then take me to the top, to the rest. I know you already know this, but I always like to go over it in detail anyway, because, you know, it's my life in your hands. And also, you're showing, I'm going through this and you're showing First Mate Meg, because when we're sailing alone, she's going to need to know how to do this, you know, and keep me alive as well. So, so we'll never do this while we're having a fight. All right, and the difference between just raising a sail, that would be enough to haul the sail up, right, is I also like to get it behind you. And if you've ever done any rock climbing, you belay like this, right? So now this is just sort of an extra safety step. If anything goes wrong with releasing this line or anything like that, you've got one more way to catch me before I die. And then when I'm ready to come down, you're going to come out of that gripper only. And this is the hard part, is because you have to, as you know, like never let this pressure off, because I'm going to be hanging on that. So that's where the belay, and you're going to easily sort of feed this out nice and slow. Yep. And I'll tell you as I'm going up and down, I'll slower, faster, or whatever. And so that's it. Questions?
Yeah, I think so. Last time I think we decided just go to the high power, go to 2, right? Because all that weight's on you. So.
Exactly. And so it's not too fast. I can easily keep up with it. I have to sort of Spider-Man up the mast while we're doing that. But yeah, 2's the way to go. And the whole way up, go ahead and keep it in the gripper there. Yep. And then the scariest part is just, you know, when I'm ready to come back down, you're on belay here and you're going to come out of that gripper. That's the riskiest part of the whole operation. Yep. So make sure when that's coming out, you're on belay. These coils are tight. Is that making sense? Right, and then you're just going to ease, it's not going now because there's no weight on it, but you're going to ease that down. And then I'll tell you if we can go a little faster, because that's what usually happens is most people, they'll be very conservative and they're going so slow. I'm like, okay, let's go.
And you're keeping the clutch open the whole time.
Yes, the clutch is going to be open the whole time. Yep. There's just no reason to lock that off, because then I can't come down. Now, if you left the clutch closed, now you got something else to do, right? So now you're trying to belay, deal with the coils on the winch, and step forward and work the clutch. It's too much. I like to keep it simpler. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like I noticed in the past when I would hoist Steve. It's kind of you try to be as smooth as you can, but it's tough. It does get a little bit jerky because you kind of let some out and then you have to reset. So you're not like messing with both hands. You always want to make sure that you've got a tight hand on it. So.
Exactly. Yeah, and you'll feel it kind of jerky. That's a good point. And I can't be sure, but I'm guessing that feels worse to you than it does to me. You know, like when I'm coming down, it's just sort of, you know, a little bit.
Sorry.
Like, yeah. So it's not the most. I'd rather be a little bit jerky than be loose and drop me, right? So.
I want to do some practices of hoisting the blanket bag up the mast, so that when it's go time and I need to really do this with you, that I know what I'm doing.
I think that's actually a really great idea.
I was thinking about that on the way here. I was trying to think of what you could put in there to do that, but yeah.
Yeah, anything, bag of blankets.
Because you could stay down here and work through the whole thing.
100%. So what we'll do is you'll watch the whole process. You'll watch it with Vic. Pay attention to exactly what the winch is, the belay I was talking about. You know, you're going to learn all of that. But then before you ever haul me, that's a great idea. We'll get a bag of something. And yeah. All right. So this is a critical part of all the rigging, because you want to know that you got in the harness correctly, and you also want someone else to double check your work, no matter how many times you've done this. All right, so you step into it like this, and you can use, well, that was smooth. All right. And for guys, it's particularly important to get these straps in the right spot.
You only make that error once.
Yeah, you learn that lesson exactly one time. Here, this is a pouch full of tools. So notice I've got those tied to my side, so I won't need to use my hands to get them. I can use those to climb and sort of Spider-Man up the mast. And then this is the line that's going to connect on. And then I'm going to tie my bowline, which is probably the most important knot in sailing, or really any knot tying. All right, now that that's all done, now I'm rigged and I'm ready to go. And I'm going to ask Vic to double check everything and look at every single thing that I've done and make sure you're comfortable with what I've
Don't
done.
get too close up into his junk there. That's off limits.
Yep, looks good.
Okay, happy with the knot?
Yep.
Okay, and right on here. So all of that is reliable, and that's all of this gear right here is, my life is dependent on it surviving, right? So that's why we're being so careful with this. All right.
Steve, please don't die. Please don't
I'll do
die.
my best.
Aw.
You trust Vic to keep you safe?
Please don't kill Steve.
I won't. We're gonna do great.
We're gonna do great.
Go team.
Yeah, no dying today.
Not today.
All right, here we go.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Remember, this first step is going to be slow because I got to work my way through the bag here. All right, a little bit more, and then pause in a sec. Another foot or two, 2 feet.
Good there?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. I feel good.
Stand inside of that.
Yeah, I'm good.
You want to pause on that spreader?
Yeah, I'll stand here for just a second. Oh, chafe. Spot. That's good news. All right, let's keep it.
Okay.
Okay, good. Yep. All right, give me 1 second here. Let me clear the lines here. Okay, keep going.
Oh my God, Steve!
Should we let him hang here?
No! Oh my God!
How's that?
Oh my
That'll
God!
add to a little drama. It looks worse than it is.
Ah!
buddy.
After
you, sir.
action report.
Yeah.
Okay. Newsflash, everybody. I'm alive. Thanks for helping me with that.
Yes, sir.
It's good stuff.
Absolutely.
The one of the crazy things I noticed is that hey, I've still got blood on this finger. My hands, I've been down off the mast for 10 minutes.
Yeah, probably.
Right? 10. My hands are still shaking. I don't know if you can see a little bit, but I thought that was muscle fatigue, and Vic pointed out, no, that's adrenaline, right? Like, because you deal with that, you guys train for this, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't train how to deal with adrenaline, but it's more of a thing of like when you go through a difficult experience, it's going to happen. So we try to look at, if you've had it happen numerous times, then you can kind of control it and get used to it. It's going to be there, but you get more comfortable with it. And a lot of times you can just work through a problem easier because you'll feel it and you'll know what's happening. And at first it's kind of scary, but once you're used to it, you're like, okay, I know this is the adrenaline dump right now, and just work through my problem and keep focusing on what I'm doing. I think sense. I don't know if I told you, but
you said to me when I was up there, because I don't know if you noticed, we had the headsets on so we could communicate with each other, and Vic heard me kind of breathing, and what I was doing, I was trying to cut the line, and I had cut my finger with the razor blade knife, so I'm bleeding, which didn't freak me out, but it added to the complexity of the situation. So I'm trying to cut it, and the line was very hard to cut because it's Dyneema and it's tied really hard. And he heard me, I guess, kind of panting. Yeah. And he just said to me, hey, just chill out and work through it, which was good advice. It really,
yeah, I think you had said that you had got cut first, and then it was like a minute or two after that is when I started to hear that, and I'm like, okay, just just refocus yourself on what you got to do.
Yeah.
So
and that was good. I was pretty quickly able to figure out it was a superficial wound. I'm fine. It's washed and bandaged now, but it was bleeding a lot. And yeah, the blood still, it's on my leg. It's actually on the rope that I was tied to. There's blood all over the end of it. So it was bleeding a lot. And I told Vic over the headset, I was like, don't tell Meghan, tell him back on the deck.
I did not hear that part. Yeah. So yeah.
Anyway, Megan's behind the camera. Did you feel like you learned?
Oh yeah, I got it. But I definitely want to practice with some blanket bags.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
For a while, yeah.
Definitely. We'll practice going up and down before you have to do it with me. But so here's what I was doing up there. Was you can see this is the piece of halyard that I cut off at the top of the mast. This was where the knot was. That's where I cut my finger trying to cut this because it was tied so tightly. You can see that. And this is the reason I went up there, because this bit of chafe.
Was it that bad?
Yeah, it was this bad. And that I could actually see it with my naked eye from the deck, and even with binoculars, it was easy to spot. But what had happened was the I forget what this outer part is called, the jacket or the covering had frayed enough to the point where the core of the rope was actually exposed. So from looking at it now, it was not in immediate danger of breaking because this Dyneema core is very strong. But that's what I was worried about. And if that halyard breaks, then if it breaks while the sail is up, the whole sail is going to come down in a real hurry, and that's going to be a mess. And breaking at all, there's the risk of it getting pulled back inside the mast, in which case now you can't just replace it, because when you replace a halyard, we'll show you, I just sew the two ends together and pull through the new line. But that was perfect.
Yeah,
Thank
worked
you for
well.
keeping me alive.
Absolutely. One more done.
The halyard is fixed, and life is good.
That's right.